Hey guys, this is a first video in forever. I have wanted to do this for quite a while now, but let's get started. Today, this video would be about CICD and specifically how I do CICD for my website. I recently upgraded, or I would say, yeah, updated it so that it's automated with GitHub Actions. If you This is my personal website's repo, and if it's private so you guys don't see it, but if you go to actions for your own repo or whatever, you probably don't see anything here. But to get started, I reference this Medium article on how to do GitHub Actions, and my website is deployed on Bluehost. So the only way I could do this is through, I don't know if there's any other way. There could be, but I did it with SSH keys anyways, and I have to have a place to store it. But also, with the keys it gives whoever's gonna deploy the build into Bluehost access, and makes that process secure, and the security purposes. This is the cPanel, or where my build code will end up in when GitHub uses SSH to gain access to it. And this directory is the public HTML directory, where you can see this is my production, actually my production Angular code that's built by GitHub. A brief walkthrough, one of the key points that you need to be able to start GitHub workflow actions CICD is to, in the root of your repo, you have to have a hidden file called .github, and then in there you have to have a directory named workflows, and then you can put in the deploy.yaml, or YML for short. This is the YAML code that I have, that I reference kind of the Medium article, and I will make sure that I put this in the link description in YouTube. But basically, it'd be easier if we look at it through here. Basically, we have a name for that build, and then this is when I push anything to main, it will trigger this workflow or git action to actually run this workflow. I use Ubuntu. I think there's another one that's called Linux, but I forgot why I did Ubuntu, but it's recommended. And then there's the checkout. Checkout is actually I think like a actions library, or a package that you can set up. You can check out all these packages through the GitHub marketplace, but specifically for deploying to a SSH server, you will need the checkout package and the setup node package. I use the node version 20.x. That's because my node it's almost the latest. I don't think it's the latest, but it matches what my node version on my computer is, if I remember correctly. And then there's the cache for npm, and then all that. This cache dependency needs, this directory needs to be correctly your package log.json. If you speed through here, we install the dependencies. So this build is basically like your Azure. If you do Azure DevOps, that's where you would create your build pipeline and stuff like that. But first off, you need to install your dependencies. So to proceed on with the whole process of building your Angular app out, first of all, you use npm install, and I use force, just so that there's no failures, which is probably bad practice, but I need to use force for my own reasons. So you don't personally have to. I use force because of like version purposes, different versions that are blocking it. But working directory will be my client app. That's where you will find the package.json. And that's also where, and then we need to install the Angular CLI so that we could, in GitHub Actions, you would have access to Angular CLI for all the commands that needs to build an Angular app. And then we do npm install global Angular CLI. I don't mind letting you all see this because these are all like not super need to be secure or whatever. But this is my all the variables. So in GitHub Actions, you could actually well, GitHub itself, it is actually not recommended to push your environment files, TS files to store in the repo. So this gives you flexibility and the capability to actually create that TS file on the fly when you run this workflow, when this workflow is triggered. So this is my development TS file, which has all the stuff that I need to make sure my different features in my site works correctly. And then this is my production one. And then we built the Angular project with the production keyword or the marker. And then I set up my SSH key, and then you can see a lot of these secrets. So this is another feature of GitHub. If you host your code in GitHub, you can actually store your important secrets in GitHub secrets so that it's securely stored and no one can access it. And then through this syntax, you can access it securely while running your workflow. So I have different secrets that needs to be ran in order to gain access to my Bluehost. So we set up the SSH key, and then so we get into my Bluehost server, and then these are some of the steps that I need to do. I would empty out my prevres folder. You don't really have to follow all this, but this is what I do in my own process. I copy all the files from this public HTML to a prev so that whenever if I do need to manually actually move the build code over for a rollback, then I could do that. So I store a backup version actually on the server itself, and then I also delete what's existing on the public HTML, excluding specific files and stuff. I did do all testing on this, so you wanna do your own testing on it for the syntax, because I did spend some time to figure out the syntax and everything. Pull over here, yeah. So for example, I don't want to delete my ICO file for my icon on my site. I don't want to delete the HTA access file for like Bluehost server configurations, stuff like that. I don't want to delete anything in prev folder. But I think that's where I actually delete stuff in it. But so that's for deleting files, and this is for deleting directories. So I have to figure out the syntax. Like I think this is YAML. Yeah. So YAML has its own syntax you need to figure out. All that. Anyways, I move on, and then we just copy. So we have the new build. We compress new build, so it runs. This is so we get that build that when we did that build here. Where is that? Here we built, and those build files will all be stored in this folder by default. And then we move those files over, and voila. So I have a lot of echoing that's for logging purposes on GitHub, and you will see why it's useful later on. But so this is what my actual production site looks like right now. And these are the changes that will be pushed on to main, and from main it will be built and sent to my server. So it's quite a bit of differences. I add a new section to highlight what's worth to note about my site. I added a Firebase backend to store the likes for visitors who are interested and like my site. I overhaul and change the font and color of the font, so you can see it's all different. I also added reCAPTCHA so that no one can spam my like button. reCAPTCHA Enterprise is a Google product that prevents bots and any hackers or scam from doing abusive actions on a site, for example, button clicks or whatever. I also added buy me a coffee uh, button here so that if you guys are interested in following along in my journey of development and wanted to support me, it would be truly appreciated, and it gives me motivation and helps me chug on daily because I'm a caffeine addict. So um, but yeah, so the fonts are all different colors now. I also updated my resume on here, so it's 2 pages because I had to add my other jobs that are relevant in this bad market. But anyways, let's get pumping. Let's get moving on. What I will do now is I will push that code, and I am in a recording test branch. Obviously, I'm recording this right now, so I did a lot of changes. I'm not gonna go and specifically write out all the changes that I've done, but I'll add some specifics. For example, site highlight section, font color change. What else? Firebase, DB, likes controller, new resume. I would say that's about it. This one, that's my production site. Yeah, I would say that's about it. And let's hope for the best, because this is my first recording, and I hope it goes through. I'm gonna discard these kind of useless kind of files that macOS does for no reason. New fonts library, TTF, commit. Oh. Yes, boom. I'm gonna publish branch. Let's go to GitHub, making sure the recording is still ongoing. Pull requests, compare and pull requests. I actually want the, can I get the whole? I'm gonna view details. I'm trying to actually. Trying to get the whole line of words, but I guess I can't do it, so I guess we'll just move on. I'm just gonna control. Oh, so environment conf. Yeah. Title. There you go. Create the pull request. Merge the pull request. Confirm the merge. And it looks like we're all set. So let's go to the code. Go to actions. Let's see if a action is triggered. And there we go. Action is triggered. So we're going to observe this as our last section of the video. Hopefully this video is not too long, because I don't want to bore you guys. But you can see this is build and deploy. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so install dependencies, set up Node.js, check out code, set up job, installing dependencies. It's gonna take a little bit because with npm it's kind of slow, but you can see I have all these echoes here. Well, all the names for each of the section that we have. So, and it matches. If you look at the name, it's taking almost a minute now. Yep, there you go. That passed. So we can minimize that. Installing your CLI. Boom, boom, boom. You can see this was created. Well, the prod ts file was created, and then the dev ts file was created. You might ask why I'm creating the dev ts file, because it's because of Angular. In Angular.json, it still needs a development file too. It references it, so it tries to look for it, and if I don't create it, this part, well, the build will fail, and in order to make it succeed, I do have to also create the the environment.ts file for development. Now we're building the Angular project for production. Looks like it succeeded. So we set up all that stuff. Looks like everything's working as expected. Copying all the files over. And looks like everything succeeded, so we get a green. That is awesome. It does its own cleanup. So, moment of truth. We are gonna go check to see if my production site changed. So let's just go to home. Might wanna, there we go. So now you can see the new stuff. Phew. For 1 second I thought that was gonna fail. I have the reCAPTCHA. Nice. I have this, which I'm just gonna refresh it. There we go. this message will pop up. There we go. There we go. Then my resume is there we go. And also there's another moment of truth. Since I really like my own site, I'm gonna give it a like. Haha, now we have 1 like. And this will continue on, if you guys keep liking. But anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. This is one of many videos to come. I hope that I can make more videos, and I think I kind of enjoy making videos, and I want to do more. I have actually an exciting project that I'm going to start doing, and I'm going to clean up all this here, which is garbage, because these are all my work stuff, school projects, and I'm actually going to start being serious, working on a project that I had in mind, that's gonna help my wife with her job and other people in her industry. So I'm gonna start working on that. But yeah, I hope you can visit my site, and if you liked my video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you again. Peace out.